Hello again, it's the OhioRAAM show coming from Southwest Ohio, where we have the largest concentration of Race Across America fans anywhere, I think. We always say that, we believe that. And the show is the product and sponsorship of the two time stations here in Ohio. The first two you run into, Oxford and Blanchester. We're glad to have the people from Love, Sweat, and Gears. I gotta be careful I say that correctly because we have to keep changing our syntax just a bit. Remember that. They're with us here tonight, and we're glad to have them, all of them. We weren't sure we were going to pull it off there for a little bit, but they are here, and we're glad to have them with us as we start tonight's show. And I'm Lee Kreider. I'm the host of the show, and according to my notes, this should be show number 64 that we've done in this series. And we had Love, Sweat, and Gears on 2 years ago, was it not, I believe? And we enjoyed visiting with them. But first, I just want to take a moment to slide over to Australia and talk to Stephen Beverling for a minute. We are very interested in Stephen's well-being. He's in hospital. Stephen, how's it going there?
G'day, and I'm very, very glad and I'm very honored to be here. But you can imagine also that physically I'm very, very glad to be here and to actually be able to talk and say g'day. For those who don't know, I had a crash on Wednesday, October the 8th, when in Western Australia doing a 1,200-kilometre ride. I was run off the road by a truck or a road train. I don't know. I can't remember any of that. And as a result of that, I've had the femur ball joint reattached with a metal pin, and I've yesterday had this broken collarbone attached with titanium, and so forth. So it's been a bit of a harrowing experience because part of it was done on one side of the country and the other side, and the other part was done here in Sydney, Australia. Having said that, you can imagine that spending a week and a half in hospital has given me a lot of time for introspection, and it made me confirm within my mind that I'm determined to come and join again and be at Oceanside at some stage. I've been overwhelmed by the support that I've had, which has been terrific, and I thank you all. Some of the people that come to mind are obviously my coach, Marco Barlow, and also Chris Hopkinson from England, who has had similar fractured setbacks and manages to race across America quite easily despite all that metal in his bone. So I'm hoping to do the same again. And I'm very, very grateful for all the support that I get constantly. So thank you.
Well, I'm glad that you could be here to say hello to us. I didn't want to distract from Love, Sweat, and Gears, but I know everybody is just happy to see you smiling there. And your determination amazes us all, Stephen. And you get well. We want to see you back here on the road in Ohio one of these days, and maybe that rainy day we met there at Blanchester, Ohio, when you were struggling with your rain suit.
Yes.
And we'll maybe we'll give you enough rain next time to really put it to use.
I will look forward to that. And in the meantime, I let you have a wonderful conversation with the ladies from Love, Sweat, and Gears, whom I look forward to meeting up with once more in Oceanside in June, and I thank you for the time. Enjoy, guys. I'm leaving you guys, and I look forward to catching up at some stage, and I look forward to hearing
you take your if my wife were here, she'd say take your pain pills before it starts to hurt. And
look, here they are. They've given them to me already.
Okay. All right.
you guys enjoy.
Okay.
All the
very
best,
good, Stephen, and best of luck.
Bye. Take care.
Bye.
Okay, I'm just going to go down the line as I have them in front of me. It'll be a little different to you ladies, but Julie, you're first in line here. How are you doing this evening?
Great. Just great.
And this is the second time we've had you on the show. Was it 2 years ago that you didn't ride last year, did you?
No, we did not ride in 2014.
Okay, good. So you've got a team. There's a little difference, isn't there, in your team this year?
We have Anne is a returning racer. Susie Warden and Susan Williams are 2 new racers.
Okay.
We're really excited to have both of them.
Anne.
Yes.
So you're coming back for another go at this, are you?
I am.
And how are you doing?
I'm doing great, Lee. Thank you very much.
We had a little struggle getting you on here, but I always tell people I have had 100% success of getting people on the show. There's been a few times where we had to sweat it out, but we're glad that you made it after all. And Susan, glad to meet you and have you with us.
It's different order. Nice to meet you as well.
And it's Susan Williams, is it?
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
So we're glad to have you here with us. And last in the line here, as I have them, is Susie, and your last name, help me pronounce it.
Wargin, like the drink.
Okay.
Always helps people remember.
Awesome.
Well, Julie, tell me a little about Love, Sweat, and Gears, what your purposes are and what you're up to.
What are we up to? We're up to riding our bikes a lot. Love, Sweat, and Gears has become their own nonprofit organization. And so Ann and I took a year off of actually racing RAM to kind of support and build up our nonprofit. And we've joined with Bikes for Kids, which is actually us. And we provide bikes and helmets for kids in underserved areas of Denver. And then my dog is going to bark, so of course that's how that usually goes.
Well, we won't worry about the dog because my dog is out here, and he sometime I left the door open because he's had a little bit of a problem eating leaves, and if I close the door, he'll probably be more aggravating than
If it's open.
than if it's open.
So now we're back in 2015 with 2 new, very qualified and very great racers that we're really excited to have on our team. And we're racing to raise more funds for Bikes for Kids to get as many kids on bikes as we possibly can.
Okay, that sounds like a good deal to me. And so you're racing as a 4-person female team.
Right.
And in what age group? I almost hesitate to ask, but
Squeaking by in the 50 to 59 age group.
okay. Average
Our
out.
Our 2 new riders are youngsters.
Okay, very good.
Pull them up.
So, and this is your second go at Race Across America. What are you gonna do?
Actually, Lee, it'll be my 3rd.
Oh, is it? Okay, I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
So what new plans do you have for this year?
That is a really good question. I'm not sure that the plans are necessarily new, because honestly, Lee, we've had 2 successful crossings thus far. We've had fun, and we've been safe, and we've been fast. So if the recipe seems to work, and we've certainly had, we've benefited by having our crew come back for the most part. Some of the main characters have returned with us each year, and we're hoping for the same in 2015, because my experience is that the more experience you have on the team, the more successful you'll be. So that's the plan.
Now, Susan, you are new to this.
Yes, I am.
And when you wake up at night and think about doing this, what kind of things go through your mind? What worries you? What excites you?
Well, it's exciting just because I love riding my bike, so I'm excited to have a good reason to ride it a lot. But it's a lot of riding that I've never done before, a type of riding I've never done before. So, obviously I don't know how I'm going to do 2-3 days into it with not much sleep and working pretty hard. So, a little concerned on how my body's going to do, but it's all very exciting, and I'm thankful that we've got Ann and Julie who've done it before. They've got great advice for us. They can help us get ready and make sure we're ready to survive, and actually not just survive, but have fun doing it. Right? That's the plan.
Right.
Tell me a little bit about how you got into cycling and.
Well, I started my athletic career, I guess, as a swimmer. I swam through college, and then I started doing triathlons, and it just turned out that cycling tended to be my strength in the triathlon. I thought at some point I'd want to focus just on cycling, and I never really did that. But now I think this is a good opportunity for me to just focus on cycling more and just kind of see what I can do with it.
Okay. And Susie, how
For
long?
those that don't know, Susan Williams won bronze in the Athens Olympics. She's the only American, male or female, to have medaled in the Olympics in triathlon.
Thanks, Susie. Yeah.
Stick it in.
One thing I've learned about people in ultra cycling and in Race Across America, they do have a degree of modesty, with the exception of one or two persons we won't mention here. But, just in case you're listening, Danny Chu, we're not talking about you.
Oh my God.
Well, Danny and I get along very well. He's
Yeah.
people.
Okay.
I know, Danny.
Everybody knows Danny, I think.
I know.
If you haven't met him, you will sooner or later. But okay, back. Get myself laughing here, and I can't get stopped. Susie, tell me a little bit about how you got into cycling, what your background is with it, and how you got wrapped up in this program.
Yeah, I've always loved cycling. I am not any of the triathlete that Susan is, but I kind of got into it with triathlon and running and swimming as well. Not very good of a swimmer. I definitely love my bike. I love to run. Biking is where I tend to be the least injured, so I love to get on my bike as much as I possibly can. So I'm really excited. It's been an opportunity that I wanted to jump at. I wasn't able to before due to my my hours and my career, and now I can. And I went for many years without sleep, so I don't worry about that as much. But I do, the one thing that worries me, I guess I should say, is the riding at night, which will just take a little getting used to. But I'm excited for the whole opportunity.
That's something I was never very happy with, riding at night, and I found that especially if I was going uphill, my sense of perspective was always thrown off. I don't know, I never could quite get that together. But so let's hear a little more about this Bikes for Kids. How do you go about providing bikes? How does the program work?
Well, the way the program works now is we like to provide enough bikes for an entire third grade. We pick third grade because that's about the time when kids become more active on their bikes. And we need to raise enough funds to get the entire grade level a bike so that not some kids get a bike and some kids don't get a bike. And so we kind of actually base it on our fundraising efforts. When we find out how much we have, then we find a school that has a need and the right number of kids that matches the funds that we have raised. And then we have vendors that help us provide for $100, one bike and one helmet for each child. And then we get the bikes are usually in pieces, so we have a big build-up day, and we get volunteers, mechanics all around the city that come and help us assemble the bikes. And then we have a distribution day, and the kids don't know that they're getting the bikes. The kids in the school don't know that they're getting the bikes. So we do an essay contest about what they would do to change the world if they could. And then we randomly pull out winners, and the winner will get a bike, and then the next winner will get a bike, and then the next winner will get a bike, and pretty soon they start to catch on that they're all getting bikes. And it's just the most incredible thing you've ever seen when they realize they're all going to get bikes. And everyone just basically goes nuts. So then we have mechanics there that day to make sure their bikes are safety checked, and we fit them with their helmets, and they take their bikes home.
And how many schools, anybody can jump in here, how many schools have you been able to do this for?
Well, we were able, let's see, this would be, last year was our second year of contributing. And so we just actually, it was just one school and one third grade level last year, and then the previous year the same. Our goal for next year is to expand on that and maybe get to 2 schools.
Okay, okay. It sounds kind of like Oprah Winfrey giving away cars, isn't it? You know,
On a smaller scale, yeah, with
on
smaller.
a smaller scale, but maybe more important, you're doing more good than giving a whole audience a batch of cars. But I really like that idea of kind of a critical mass or saturation, rather than just distributing a bike here or there.
Yeah. Yeah. And we have plans to, we've had a little bit of red tape, but we're trying to do some organized rides with those kids that have gotten their bikes, so we can do a little bit more follow-up and some safety type riding and bike handling skills and things like that. So it's been really fulfilling, actually.
What kind of bikes do they get?
Well, they're just, I think, and correct me, Julie, the bicycles came, I think, through Walmart, is that right? And
Yeah.
so there was some, yeah, the Bikes for Kids organization coordinated something through Walmart. So they're just a small, I don't even know how big they are, but they fit third grade kids.
Yeah.
They're just a single speed recreation bike.
Yeah.
They're nothing.
Okay.
They're not-
Well, you know, my theory about that is anything that gets people out there, that's good. You know, there's a certain element in the bicycling community, and you know that as well as I do, who kind of have a snotty attitude or a arrogant attitude towards cyclists. And I said, you know, hey, if somebody's out there on a bike, that's a great thing. I don't care what kind it is.
Well, and for these kids, it's actually transportation for them. It's very liberating. They live in families that don't have, some of them don't have cars, and so the kids can ride their bikes to the park, or they can ride their bikes to the grocery store, or even around the block. It's just a very empowering type thing for them to have.
Well, I was going to make this at the end announcements, but since you brought it up, I think it'll fall in the next week's show, but this coming Saturday, me and my able assistant, he didn't realize he was going to become an assistant, but he is now. We're going over to Columbus to do a show around a bike shop that's owned by a church. And I'm not going to say much more about it than that, but they have a fascinating thing going over there, and when I heard about it, I said, I've got to do a show around that. And they're trying to do much the same thing with a different strategy than you are. But it's, you know, you may say, well, what is a church doing owning a bike shop? But we'll talk more and we'll have it done on a future show. But I'm just happy to see these kinds of things happen. Susan, have you had any chance to get directly involved with this, or is this new to you?
This is new to me. I did speak with these gals a few years ago about kind of jumping on the bandwagon and joining them, but I've got some younger kids, and I felt I needed to wait a little bit, so I haven't gotten in. This is the first that I've gotten involved with this, and I'm really excited about it. I've done some coaching with kids, like kids triathlon, and it's just really, it's fun to see them get excited about riding or running or swimming, whatever they're doing, and like you guys all said, just giving them that freedom. They've got freedom now where they can go somewhere, they can go to a friend's, they can go, you know, almost a little bit of independence for them. So I'm really excited to be a part of something like this for sure.
And Susie, you might know about this. Is this making any impression in the communities around where this happens? Are people learning about the program? have you got any reaction from the communities?
Well, we'd like them to learn more about the program. The great thing about where we live in Colorado is that there are lots of outreach programs. So when I was working at the NBC affiliate in Denver, I had Julie and Ann and their teammates in for a couple years in a row to try and give them a little more pub so people knew more about Love, Sweat, and Gears and what they're doing. So the goal is, I mean, you can't give them to everybody, so the fact that we can help out 2 third-grade classes and get them bikes and set them up is just, I mean, it's really cool. So hopefully we can, continue to do more in the future. But like I said, the nice thing is there's a lot of great organizations here that are doing good things, and so we'll try and get as much pub as we can, but they get some too. So we can't steal the whole spotlight, unfortunately.
Well, if you go to the OhioRAAMshow.com website, and we'll put that link up a little bit, you'll see right below where the video is for the show, in the show notes, this link, lovesweatandgears.net, which is their website. And you don't have to remember that now. If you just remember OhioRAAMshow.com, go there and go down and click on the link. It'll take you to their website, tell you more about it. And I believe, am I not right, there's even a place that if you'd like to give them a few bucks, you can do it there as well, can you not?
Oh, absolutely. In
Yes.
fact, what we do, conveniently enough, we have one of our most successful fundraising programs is we sell time stations, RAM time stations, for $100, which is the same amount that it costs to get a bike and a helmet for a kid. And so if you buy a RAM time station, you will get a call from our crew as we go through that particular time station, and also be providing a bike and a helmet for a kid at the same time.
Hey, that's a great thing. And okay, you people in OhioRAAM out there, let's go to that website and let's make sure that a couple of these time stations, Ohio, are purchased for you, and we'll try to see if we can't stir that up a little bit for you all. But you can go to their website and learn more about them. And I might say, while we're at that, while we're showing you that slide, that there also you have a couple other teams, and we don't want to steal their thunder, but you have a tandem team this year, do you not, Julie?
Yes, we do. We've got 4 tandems.
And they are scheduled to come on the show. In fact, I was going to do the show in a couple of days, but something came up with one of them that they couldn't make it. And so let me get my mouth turned around here. We are rescheduling them. And so I see Susan having a little trouble there. Well, you'll come back, Susan. You'll be okay. Those of you who see Susan twice, that happens here. She does not have
frozen in time, Susan.
Yeah. We had some technical difficulties here, but we're good now.
It happens, you know. I mean, given what we pay for this service, you can understand. So we run into some limitations at times, and who knows where the slip is at. I lost track of what I was saying.
We were talking about our tandems.
Tandem team, they will be on the show later on. We'll get another date scheduled for getting them on, and I've been in touch with all of them, and they seem to be like a great group of people. Now, I was hoping that a friend of yours might pop in here this evening, and I sort of have reasons to suspect that she might be trying to get in. So if, without telling you who this might be, just let me say to her, if you go to the OhioRAAMshow.com website, if you're out there watching at the moment, OhioRAAM you know what it is, you've been there before, and click on Join the Show. That should bring you in. So if that can happen, I don't want to eliminate the surprise there for you, but someone you would know and have taken bread with, I might say that.
Oh, okay.
She did want to say hello, and if she doesn't make it in, I'll say hello for her here in a little bit.
Okay.
Hey, listen, I really appreciate what you people are doing, and it's so good to have you here with us again. Um, I enjoyed having you with us the last time and learning to know you a little bit. And unfortunately, I don't think I was around any time at the time stations when you people came through, but
We were just so fast. You just didn't see us.
that's probably it. You know, there was a time when I would stay at the time stations like 36 hours in a row, and but things have gotten to me, and I can't do that anymore. So I spend as much time there as I can. So I I started telling everybody on the show, I'll see you there, but I don't do that anymore because chances are I might not see you there. And let's see, is somebody trying to? No. Okay, I thought maybe somebody was signaling me they were trying to get in here. I was checking on that. So before we sign off here and say goodnight and thank you again for being with us, just go down the line and see if we've got any final thoughts you'd like to give us, Julie.
Just we're really looking forward to 2015. We're training hard and we're trying to get as many bikes to kids as we can. Looking forward to seeing you, Lee, I hope.
Well, we'll make a special effort. I try to be careful about what I say, but I just have to say this: when it comes to attractive ladies, I try to make a special effort. So, but forgive me for that, please.
Okay.
And before we leave, what have you got to tell us?
Well, just as always, Lee, thank you so much for your support and interest in us. And we love riding through Ohio. And, you know, it might be dark. We like riding in the dark, actually. But we do love being there. And so thank you very much for your interest in us. And like Julie said, we're just trying to get as many people on bikes as we can and looking forward to next year.
Well, as we say here in Southwest Ohio, whether you come through at 3 o'clock in the morning or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, there'll be people here to cheer you, ring a cowbell, and we always have 24-hour food, 24-hour fuel, and 24-hour fans ready to give you a little boost. And we just, so many people work together to make this happen. And I should mention their names more than I do, but we'll get to that later on as we get closer to the race itself. Susan, so glad to meet you and wish you well. Any words before you leave?
Well, again, just thanks for having us on here. I really don't know what I'm getting myself into, but if these gals keep doing it, it must not be that bad of a thing. It must be a pretty cool thing. So I'm just, it's just going to be a pretty exciting year, I think. So thanks, yeah, like they all say, thanks for having an interest in us and keeping track of us.
Well, the whole purpose of the show is to help you people get a little publicity, to promote your causes, and to promote the whole sport of ultracycling. And we're just always happy to lend whatever little bit we can to that. Susie, anything final you have to say before we wind this thing down?
You know what, Lee, just thanks for having us on. We're four very strong women that are super excited to hang out more together, to ride together. We've got Olympic gold medal, or a bronze medalist, a bronze medalist, also a Masters national time trial champion. Julie and I have seen a couple of podiums ourselves, so we're super psyched about having just a strong group of women that are committed to doing as best as we can. We have some pretty lofty goals, and not only on the course that day, but also with our nonprofit of getting bikes to kids and getting more and more people on bikes. So it's fun. It's a really great energy and a good group to be around.
Well, as anybody who's been around the show knows, I have done what I can to push the women's aspect of this sport as much as possible. I think they really add a lot to it, and I see it growing, not dramatically fast, but each year it seems to gain a little bit of extra support. And as I've said so often, you see men come through and they look awful, and they look like they're in pain and they're suffering, and you see a team of women or a solo rider come through, and they look like they're having a really good time. And so I just think we should recognize what you females are adding to this sport, and I'd like to just say a word to push that. Thanks again for being with us. As we close down, just a couple of things. I mentioned that I think it'll be next week in the series. I get a little bit out of sync as we're recording now rather than doing live shows. But we are going to do this show from from a bike shop in Columbus that's trying to put people on bikes that might not otherwise get on bikes, and I think that's a great program, and I just want to do what we can to tout it. And we also plan to have some representatives from the Columbus chapter of Major Taylor Club on the show. Those of you who have watched the show know that we had the Major Taylor San Diego Club on last spring, I believe it was, or maybe winter. And I remember the first Major Taylor Club in the nation was in Columbus, Ohio in 1979. And I know that I rode with that club that year on the tour of the Scioto River Valley, which we call Tazerv here. It's a 200-mile, 2-day ride. And they're just a great bunch of people. They have helped move cycling into the Afro-American community. Major Taylor being a great racer in the turn of the 19th to 20th century. And we'll have them on the show as well next week. And as I said, we'll have the Love, Sweat, and Gears tandem team on here. We'll get that schedule worked out. And there's a lot of other things in the works, so stay tuned. We appreciate any time you can support us. Give us a like on Facebook when you see our posts there, or a share. And how these things work, the more of those we get, the further the story of ultracycling gets spread around. There's also a place there on the website where you can sign up for email notifications of future shows. And if you got anything to tell us, there's a place there to do that as well. And I'm not going to bore you with my talk anymore. And thanks for watching. Thanks, ladies, for being with us. We appreciate you taking this time out and taking the effort and energy to be with us. And with that, we're going to say good night.